There's one night when he was staying in bed, sleeping, he felt very uneasy, like someone was looking at him. He saw a shadow of someone standing at his doorway. So he took a photo in the dark, increased the brightness and the contrast, only to find that true, in the darkness, there was a silhouette of a man standing there. Some places fade with time, some refuse to be forgotten. Welcome to Haunting History, where the supernatural and history are intertwined to uncover untold stories about Singapore's most haunted landscapes. I'm your host Eugene from Supernatural Confessions. Tonight, I find myself in one of Singapore's quiet, unsettling estates, barricaded for future developments. We are here to look at what history have left behind, or perhaps what it has awakened. This is Spooner Road. Hello Lydia.
Hi Eugene.
Welcome to Haunting History.
Thank you.
Now Lydia, I know you're familiar with Spooner Road. Why don't you tell us a bit more about yourself?
Hi, I'm Lydia. I've been staying here for about a year, since mid-2012 to mid-2013.
Well, anyone who's Singaporean, who's interested in history and paranormal, would have heard about Spooner Road. When you moved out of this place, or when you last stayed here, was it crumbling? Because when I came here just about a month ago before they shut down this place, the paints were peeling, the mailboxes were broken, the place was badly graffitied. Was it?
No.
Was that your memory?
No, it's still like a normal flat. It's still in very good condition.
Yeah.
But the creepy is there.
So we're going to get to more of the creepy stories in a while.
Yeah.
But for now, I want to share the story about Spooner Road. And you know, at one point in time, it was not just a normal HDB block like what you said. It was a crowning glory of Malayan railway. Spooner Road was built as an estate to house the workers who was working in Tanjong Pagar Railway. But back then in 1932 all the way to 1950s, workers were staying in shanty towns along the railroads. No proper housing for the workers there. Until 1952, they built Spooner Road Estate, named after Charles Edwin Spooner. He is the main man who designed the Malayan Railway. Back when Spooner Road was built, there were 5 blocks. Don't forget that back before it was called KTM, Kereta Tanah Malaya, it was the Malaya Federated States Railway. So all the different workers from different states would come here to work. And each of these buildings would have their own community. Children were running around, playing safely within the estates, while the sound of trains could be heard running behind the background. And even the station master's hut was right here at Spooner Road. And that building still stands today. That was a nerve center that controls all of the railway, the scheduling and movement. The children take on the mettle of their parents and continue the business working the railway. In its heyday, this was the Iron Railroad of Spooner Road, the pride and crowning glory of KTM. Even after the independence of 1965, this land is still sovereign Malaysia land. So those who are living at Spooner Road technically was living on Malaysia land with the prosperity and luxury of Singapore around them. So you can imagine back in those days, in the 60s, the 70s and the 80s, this was the place to be. But as you know, Singapore has progressed very, very fast. And in 2011, Tanjong Pagar ceased operation, the rail tracks were all taken out. And Singapore and Malaysia had a handshake deal to return this land back to Singapore. That's when Singapore took over this land at Spooner Road and chased all the residents out, became deserted for a short period of time until people like you came to stay here. So Lydia, you used to stay here.
Yes.
Right, so for 5 blocks that you had before, it was torn down in the 70s, they rebuilt as 2 blocks, block 1 and block 2. You live in block 1, am I right?
Yes.
So there's some urban legends about Spooner Road. Block 1 being the most haunted, and there has been a lot of suicides as well. Could you verify those facts for me?
When I was staying there, there's no suicide. After I shifted out, then I heard there's suicide.
Let us go to somewhere else that's a little bit more spooky to get the vibe in, and I'll share you the story about what I know about Spooner Road.
Okay.
Alright, let's go. Well, that's Indian guy, his name is Rayson Ace, and I met him here at Spooner Road in 2021. Unfortunately, Rayson has already passed away. Now, the thing about Rayson's Ace house, he lived in the same block as you, on the 5th floor. He reported hearing sounds, seeing shadows in his house, and at one point, when he went to the toilet, there was a naked old woman in the toilet, just sort of crying and laughing at him at the same time, and then she was gone. If that was not strange enough, there were other encounters that he had in the same house. On one night, he was out in the living room just chilling out when he heard voices and a woman crying. So firstly, he thought, okay, it's just the neighbor, right? He just ignored it. And then the cries got louder and louder. And it seemed to be coming from behind one of his room, the locked door. There's no one inside, he doesn't have a key, because this was a rented unit. So he took one room, the other room was locked. He took his phone and turned on the audio recording and went around the house to try to find the source of that laughter. And when he came to the room with the locked door, he heard a woman crying, and he recorded that sound. After he sent me that recording and we put it out online, things got worse. He could see shadow walking along the corridor, and you know how the windows are, the shutters are quite high, and on top it's actually quite transparent.
Yeah, the glass panel.
The glass panel,
Yeah,
that's
glass
right.
panel.
So if anyone were to be seen walking,
Yeah.
they would either have to be very, very tall
Yes.
or floating.
Yeah. That's what I experienced.
Yeah?
Yeah. The black figure that I saw on the glass panel, like what you say, someone that we can see on top of the glass panel is either his height must be higher than us, or like you say, it's floating. So my thought was, cannot be a human being.
Yeah, right. Did you check your neighbors, what they have heard and they have experienced as well?
My neighbor beside me, exactly beside me, came to us the next morning, and then he asked us whether do you hear any knocking on the door at 2 a.m. or 2 plus a.m. And I say no. But then after a few weeks, it's my turn. And I don't dare to stand up and look at the people even. Yeah. I hear knocking, and then after a few days, I heard footsteps outside.
But there's no one there?
There's no one there. No one. All shut the door. Before 7, the door is already shut. Along the way, when I stay there, day by day, and then I experience a lot of things, then I know that there's something here that make people don't want to open the door after 7.
So after 7, all doors close.
Yeah.
And you realize that on your own later
Yeah.
on through your first-hand experience.
Yeah. My cousin sister, we hang outside the house midnight. Randomly took a photo, and she saw something. We call in Malay is pocong. So it's lying down there,
Yeah.
but you can't see it clearly. It's like blurry, but you can see the shape and the white cloth.
If you look at Spooner Road today, what remains are not just the crumbling walls, but questions. Questions about how do you remember? How do you let it go? And how does the past speak to us in silence? As conversation begins about how to preserve Spooner Road, whether to keep it for historical education or for public memories, the spirits of Spooner Road still remains, watching, waiting, and whispering to those who dare listen. We'll be back next time with another forgotten place and the stories it refuses to bury. My name is Eugene, signing out from Spooner Road. Lydia, thank you for being on Haunting History with me. Shall we go down and take a closer look at Spooner Road?
Sure.
I wanted to show you this cluster of trees where I was told something was buried beneath this. Something sentient, something unseen, something very much still present with us. If you're going to do your Eugene Ali, I'll suggest doing it here.
Yeah.
You probably will get something. Yeah, right this spot here. Behind that trees over there. We're going to do isolation here.